Good morning and welcome back to Monday Morning Quarterback. Today we're savoring an enjoyable victory from this past weekend as we defeated St. John's University 27-26 in overtime. We had a record crowd there that was there to witness a tremendous football game. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 16,500 people were on hand, which I believe sets a Division III NCAA record. And it was an amazing day from start to finish, no question about it. Defense came out, and although we allowed an early drive, I think we did a pretty good job of slowing down what was a good offense that the Johns had. They were able to run the ball fairly effectively early, and they were put on some relatively short fields because of the offense's inability to hold on to the ball. And despite being put in three tough situations, they were able to only allow 10 points in the first half, and we were able to go into halftime only 3 points down. In the second half, came out and started applying a little more pressure. Didn't have quite as many sacks as we've been accustomed to the last couple weeks, but I think credit is to their quarterback, who did a very nice job getting out of pressure and either pulling the ball down and running or scrambling. But again, not just the edge pressure by the outside linebackers, but we got some great inside pressure too by Tommy Becker and Wyatt Delgado. And Tommy played just a stellar game through and through, and he played through some nicks and some dings, and so proud of how he led and finished that game. Also a stellar game by Brady Irvin. The secondary, I think, really came through in a stalwart manner, and Ryan Dietz did a fantastic job supporting the run, but also coming up with that huge pick at the end of the game when they were throwing the ball with just under a minute left when they were in field goal range. And in addition to that, on the other side, Kirk Bagleen proves to just be a really nice force for us. And once again, very, very stalwart. But Brady Irvin not only had a couple big hits, but he had some really timely stops on third down and short, so we were excited to see that. And what that did is that allowed the offense to kind of get their rhythm, because offensively I don't believe that we found our rhythm very early. And it wasn't just because of the lack of ball security. There was a tremendous amount of jockeying schematically going on, specifically in the first two quarters. And I would say by far this season, the most adjustments that we ended up making throughout the course of a game, not just before halftime and at halftime, but also in the fourth quarter, and then again right before overtime. So there was a lot of feeling out and adjusting that had to be done and tweaking on the sideline, and I think our kids handled that extremely well as the game went on. We went into the locker room 10-7 and at that point had committed 3 turnovers and missed a field goal, and felt like just about everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong in the first half, and we challenged our guys to come out. We thought we have some good players. We thought we have some confidence in a good scheme, and they really did come through in the second half, led by Dakota Tracy, not just his arm but his feet as well. But as we say around here, we probably win more games with our hearts and our minds and our arms and our legs, and Dakota is a wonderful example of that. He really willed some great things to happen yesterday. And the running game really came along. Ben Wortman did return to the lineup, and he had a rough first half, came around a little bit in the second half with several touchdowns for us, but leading the way was some of the blocking of our offensive line. Joe Schaefer and John Curtis playing guard did a wonderful job. Josh Ostrew just fighting through pain and some dings to get back in there. And also our tight ends of Logan Marks and Ben Graham and John Nelson really did lead the way. So it was a team effort and an opportunity to run the ball. Special teams, feast and famine. Obviously, the 1 point extra point created the win and the margin of victory for us. But there were some missed field goals along the way, and then the obvious missed extra point towards the end of regulation that left the game tied at 20-20. So we have some certain needs that we need to clean up, and we feel very comfortable with the personnel we have in there. We just have to continue to work on that and build some confidence as well. But it was everything I think the game was touted to be. The Johns have a great team, and it was a wonderful environment. There's no question about that. And we told our kids all week long that That's a good team on the other sideline, and they will make some plays, but in the long run, we believe that we're just going to make a few more. Like I said, tremendous following from our fans being up there, and for that we are greatly, greatly appreciative. But I think in the long run, what probably helped us win that game more than anything else was the attitude and the demeanor of our kids. And as a coaching staff, we just want to take a second to personally thank the hearts and the minds of all of those that do battle on the field. In recruiting, we go out of our way to find the kids with the highest character and the highest of attitude and the most hardworking kids that we can possibly find. And we find kids that are willing to buy into the we and don't worry so much about the me. And I think yesterday it was that attitude, that togetherness, that solidarity that in the long run put our guys over the top. And say what you want, in the end our guys made plays when it was necessary, and it was great to see. So we enjoy this one and we get ready for next week. We'll be home at 1 o'clock on Saturday as we take on Augsburg, and we hope to see you there. Have a great week.